are good to go. We are currently looking at game number 3 here between Cas and Creator. And starting to the top right of the map, we currently have our Empire player, Terran in blue. It is Cas, our Ukrainian player. And his opponent starts to the top left. We have him in red once more. This is Creator using the account Barrel here.
Yeah, and very aggressive banter from Creator, saying, looking very happy, to say good luck, have fun. That actually is pretty rare for a Korean to do to a foreign player in the chat like that.
Well, we had a lot of banter at WCG, man.
We certainly did, man.
Playing, partying, that was like, okay. He was chatting more than he was concentrating.
I feel like, everyone has their opinions about what happened there, but I think that, to me, it was really cool to see him do that, because even though he was trying to troll it somewhat, I could see he was genuinely happy that he had his moment to do that. This is a really interesting supply depot placement, but because he placed it where the farm mineral patches are, he's not really going to be affected in his mining too much.
Yeah, it's just using a little bit of a different variation of how he would usually do it.
He's like making the SCV mine in a certain way with that depot.
Yeah. It would be funny if you could actually just lift the, that new cardboard video that
yeah,
they have where the SCV is bouncing on
the I
saw
that right before I came here, actually.
I have to say that the newest cardboard video with a Colossus, I don't know, to me that's like the worst that they had so far. I mean, it's not bad, but if I compare it to the others, there were people who were saying like, it's the best one yet, and I'm looking at it like, really?
I actually really like it. I don't think it's the best one. I would not say that. I really like the Phoenix one, for example. Here's CC first, and we may have Nexus first as well, but I really like the Colossus one because it's so characteristic of, oh, this is so scary, how do we deal with this? And then the Viking comes out after the Stalkers are gone, and it just looks silly because all Colossi feel that way when you're just like, oh, well, what do? I can't really get out of this one.
The funniest part to me was when the Stalker tried to blink up and actually just hit the wall, and then in return I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not part of this attack now.
Yep, that can happen in a real game. That was kind of weird that the Colossus was stepping on the Stalkers. But
yeah. Well, that doesn't really happen in StarCraft, though. The Colossi in StarCraft are a little bit more careful about where they step.
Yeah.
And we now have the double barracks for Cas here. Creator also started with an early Nexus. We see him with the gas at this point. Both of them just trying to scout, finding a little bit of an, well, not an opening, but at least the starting position of their opponent, and trying to see what exactly is going on. But this is the start of the early game that we kind of expected. Both of them taking it easy here, trying to just prepare for the league.
Yep. And scouting around. I wonder what Creator's going to do in this game. This is a map where, especially at these positions, you can take a fast third like we saw him do in game number 2, and then try to put pressure on. Alternately, though, he could just get his tech up, get his forges up as usual, and gets a great amount of scouting here. The Marine just slightly too late to deny him, and meanwhile, of course, in the main base of Creator, he's been scouted by that SCV as well.
And Cas now with a double gas. This time a little bit earlier. If you compare it to the build that he used on Ohana and Daybreak, we don't see him with the third command center this fast. Instead, he goes for the gas a lot earlier. That's something that he could use later on. If Creator expects him to delay his tech once again in favor of his economy, then he might be hit by a timing here that Cas can use against him. But our Protoss player is still on one gate, is still taking things easy here. And let's have a quick look at the harvest account, actually. With 27 to 23, we have now the slight advantage in the numbers for Creator. But of course, Cas more than makes up for that with the additional mules.
The mules definitely make up for that, for sure. I mean, you just see the standard Tech Lab reactor going down for Cas as he gets his factory up. He's been playing this very straight up. And Creator actually, with a quick potential Blink Stalker play follow-up to this with the Twilight Council.
Yeah, and let me have a look at his gas. Has double assimilators now at his main and at natural. Takes another gas.
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting. He's still playing it on one gateway, so very, I would say, a little bit risky. If there's an early attack by Cas, he does not have the production to really withstand this.
After scouting the command center first, I guess he feels like he's going to be okay here, but there's still a slight risk with this. I don't think we're going to see Dark Templar based on how he's playing this out.
He might, though. We've seen Dark Templars just in the recent past. Also at WCG, a couple of the T-plays actually used it against Parting.
And he's definitely going to do it here. Oh, a misplace on the Nexus.
Yeah, had to cancel and now rebuilds. And there's the Dark Shrine. Wow, DTs for Creator. very interesting now. Cas, in most of the games that we've seen, has built one missile
Yeah,
turret.
we saw even on the very first game, the missile turret almost killed the observer.
Yeah, but this time, no engineering matrix.
Yeah,
yet.
see, this time he goes for faster medevacs.
And also, he doesn't have that third command center that he usually builds. So suddenly, he is a bit lower on energy for potential scans, and he doesn't have the missile turret. This could completely backfire.
Yeah, you're so right.
That's
There's
double.
the E-base, so he will actually be able to get those turrets up, but a lot of damage could be done, though, before that happens. Uh-oh, misplaced on the starport. That happens to everybody.
That's already the pylon. The one forward pylon, the second one coming in very soon. Ooh, this could get ugly, Wolf. If
It
Cas
certainly could, man.
doesn't see this,
He's making a lot of pylons, though. Creator committing a lot to this. Usually, this type of play really makes sense with the third base because it's like, all right, I'm going to maybe do some damage to you, but also my DTs are going to be great defensively if you try to go for an attack at my third.
exactly. If you have, for example, a drop play, what you can always do is just warp in a DT or two, and then you are normally fine if your opponent doesn't have the energy for a scan. And even if he does, usually you are still able to do some damage and make sure that the drop play is not taking you down.
With no combat shields, DTs one-shot Marines, so you can actually just fight the Marines, even if there's medevacs there. And the Marines, I think, see it now. But if he uses a scan here, then he's not going to have one in his main. And Marine Force here is already starting to take some hits. It looks like he doesn't have a scan. There it is.
And talking about no combat shield, that's exactly what we see. Another DT in the main base. How about the... yeah, he actually has only 50 energy on the orbital command, but as soon as this scan is used, he won't be able to scan again.
Yeah, there's too many different DTs, and now he can actually just warp in DTs to defend in his main base as well. That stim, I feel, was a mistake because that actually showed his hand there, so he was able to easily just repel that.
And he gets away. He gets away. There is no scan anymore, and now suddenly he's trying to stim in, trying to do damage. There are too many DTs. In total, Creator has 5 DTs, and what is Cas going to do? He's losing units by the second. There are still DTs in his main base. At the same time, this Natural is being attacked, but I don't think that Creator is going to care.
No, I think Cas is actually going to have to GG. There it is. You know,
GG.
A bit unlucky there with his first scan, and then the DTs in too many different locations. Like you said, no third base.